Hey, what's up you guys? This is Sentai22 here. How you guys all doing? Bringing you another technology review for you. And today I'll be checking out the Micomsoft's framemeister xrgb mini. Now, this little device actually upscales your old school retro game consoles to a much better resolution on your big screen TV. A lot of the upscalers out there just simply stretch out the image, but this one scales it to a resolution as you would normally see it on your old school TV. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's a very expensive upscaler. Luckily, I was able to get this as a bundle with a lot of the cables, like the SCART cables and a SCART switcher, which cost me a pretty penny, I'll tell you that for sure. Roughly around $500, but trust me, with this by itself, without the cables, it costs much more, just for the simple fact that this machine is out of production at the moment. Hopefully there'll be another version of the framemeister, or at least a spiritual successor to it, which I heard, I forgot the other upscaler that is being made, but hopefully, you know, it won't be as expensive as this. One thing to keep in mind is that since this is from Japan, of course, you have to get something called a JP21 converter to SCART, because JP21 cables are a little bit harder to find. But the SCART cables are more highly accessible, and make sure to pick the right ones for your particular console. For those of you who don't know what SCART is a TV format that they had in Europe, which I wish we've gotten. Instead, we had this kind of low quality AV composite format. I wish we had it, but thankfully we can utilize it, because the good thing about a lot of the older video game consoles, aside from the aside from the PC Engine Dual R, most of the 90s consoles were able, and a little bit of the late 80s consoles like the Sega Master System, they were able to RGB output natively instead of without modifying the system. I do know that the Super Nintendo 2 actually you need to have a mod for it. Same with the Nintendo 64 onwards, but most of the consoles like the Sega Saturn, the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo can all output RGB natively. One console I think that kind of benefits RGB a lot better than the others is the Sega Saturn, which, you know, because of the rich library of 2D titles, the game outputs by the framemeister, the quality very awesome, very good. So alright, so I'm going to test out a few games with this, and for those of you wondering, this is not the SCART switcher that was purchased from the original seller. I actually bought this one. This is a really good switcher here. Forgot the name of it. You should probably see it in I forgot the channel, which I'll put in the description below. It's a really awesome video game channel that lets you know everything about quality of each console and what's their potential. So I'm gonna put that in the link in the description below. So alright, so let's start off with the Super Nintendo. So here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna test out a couple of games with the framemeister. So the first game I'm gonna test is Kamen Rider, for all you Tokusatsu fans out there. So also, one thing cool about this little device is that if you want, you can actually have scan lines on them. That's up to you if you want it, but I prefer it just without it, because of course it is a flat screen TV. It just doesn't look right. But if you want to experience the true kind of boxy TV, then this option is for you. So, alright, so let me play a little game here. I'll just keep it in scanline mode for you guys. Semaru Shoka. Alright, here we go. So you can see, let me give you guys a closer shot. Give you guys a closer shot. As you can see, the collars just pop out nicely. Very cool. See? You don't get that on a regular upscale machine. Unless if you have a RGB monitor, which a lot of us don't want to spend like $1,000 on Craigslist. Now, let me turn off the scan line just to show you what it's like closely without it. See? Really nice. See Ichigo's face really nicely too. Okay, now let's test out the Sega Genesis side of things, and the game that I'm playing is Shinobi. So here we go. Look at that, you see? The quality definitely surpasses a lot of the other upscalers. Oh, and don't mind the pink bars in the sides, it's just that, because if you ever bought a tube TV, you'll notice that you hardly see those things in the side. But since we're in the digital age, you pretty much see everything. As you can see. Okay, I guess I was wrong. Mostly the Sega stuff benefited from RGB, in my opinion. Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn in particular, they all benefited from this. Just look at the color and everything else. Everything is so refined. It's how it should be, man. We should have gotten Scarred here in the US. Alright, we're gonna test out Marvel vs. Street Fighters. Fortunately, this never came out in the US, sadly. I wish it would have. But of course, you know, Sega of America's practices and whatnot. So, alright. Sorry for the background noise, guys. Oh yes, I know about the Marvel vs. Capcom news. I'm glad that they finally made it, you know? I mean, aside for not having any X-Men characters, obviously, because of rights issues, I'm glad that the series is back now, and I can't wait to get it.
Welcome to the adventure! Choose your alter egos!
Alright, pick Spider-Man and Ryu, just to, you know, balance it out here. Manual, normal.
Come on. Spider sense tingling.
Ready, fight!
Whip swing.
Just another 3D game, of course you probably know this one, Nights into Dreams. look how beautiful this is. Wow. Yuji Naka did one hell of a job with this game, I'll tell you that for sure. I apologize for bad flying in this. It's just I don't have. Well, I do have the controller, the Knights exclusive controller. It's just that I have it stored somewhere and I want to take it out just for this review. But yeah, really nice. Okay, final verdict. Is it worth it? It really depends on the person that really wants true quality, high definition graphics from their old school games. But if you're just a casual gamer that just wants to play these games, there's a lot of alternatives out there. Say for example, as I mentioned, there's a link that I did a review on. You can use like say for example a DVD recorder to get a good quality picture through certain outputs and inputs. So yeah, I mean it's a better alternative. I mean it'll probably cost you less than $100 to boot. I mean you can find a DVD recorder for like maybe $30 and just use the AV outputs via component, and the picture looks fantastic. So it depends on the person, really, to be honest. If you're really into retro gaming and you want your games to look fantastic, then I definitely recommend the framemeister. But for those who are just casuals that have these consoles and don't really matter about the picture, I mean, I hate when people say about AV, about oh it's AV composites, how it's just crap. I mean, it depends on how you use it. I mean, you can use it on a old school TV and it looks great, you know. So I don't really recommend. I can't really say that for sure. So, alright guys, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please comment, favorite, and subscribe. This is Sentai22, and thanks for watching.